Hi everyone. So in this video, we will be looking at questions from 2019 to 2023, thus covering all the PYQs that were asked from the grammar section in the UPSC Forest Mains examination. Hope you find this exercise helpful. So one improvisation that I've done is I've tried to put the erroneous statement in red and the correct ones in green. All right. So let us look at the 2023 questions first. And the first question goes like, I could not help not laughing at the joke. So we hear that not is an extra word. It's just I couldn't help but laugh at the joke. And if you want to just change the statement altogether, it means I couldn't resist laughing. But I think the first one is more appropriate because you're using the same words as given in the question. Let us look at the second one. This novel is too interesting. Again, too is something that you might be using in your day to day language, but over here it can be replaced by a better word that is extremely. So, too is replaced with extremely. The third one, I replied to him in negative. So, it is not in negative, it's in the negative. So, you have to add the article the. Then I have many works to do. Many has to be replaced by a lot of work to do. So again, if you notice in question 2 and 4, you just had to replace things like to with extremely, many works with a lot of work to do. So just simple changes. Then the fifth one, he takes pain over his work. So again, maybe this could sound correct, but over here the correction that had to be made is pain has to be replaced with pains with a S. So he takes pains over his work. That means he takes a lot of efforts or he gets tired doing his work. Okay, then the sixth one, his hat was blown off by the strong air. Over here, the word air is problematic and it is wind. His hat was blown off by the wind, by the strong wind. Then the seventh one, each of the two sisters were hardworking. Again, each of the two is problematic. You have to replace it with both. Both sisters were hardworking. Then the eighth one, choose the least of the two evils. So over here again, they tend to play with words like most favorite, as we saw in the last session. So over here they've written the least of the two evils. So you have to select the lesser of the two evils. Then the ninth one, it is nothing else than pride. So over here again, than has to be replaced with but. So it is nothing but pride. In the previous ones, we had seen how but was replaced with yet and but was replaced with a comma. But in this ninth statement, it's vice versa. So it is nothing else than pride. And now over here, it's not than, it's nothing but pride. Then the 10th one, they only work when they have no money. So this is a work of rearrangement, and you have to say that they work only when they have no money, not as given in the question. So they work only when they have no money. So we have seen this reordering business even earlier in the previous session. In two statements, you just had to do reordering. So yeah, I mean, that was all about 2023. We look at 2022. So the question is, we arrived at a decision after discussing about all the aspects. So over here, about is an extra word, and we just have to say we arrived at a decision after discussing all the aspects. So you have to sort of search if there is anything extra, remove that, and if there is something incorrect, replace it. The second one, the flood victims were provided shelter. So over here, were provided with shelter. So in one, you had to remove about, and in the other, you had to add a preposition. Then third one, we have built this house 20 years ago. So we have built को replace करना है. We built this house 20 years ago. So you have to consciously search for something that is incorrect. So in this case, the tense, so we have built is replaced with just built because you did that activity in the past and it's done. So you built the house 20 years ago. Then the fourth one, she stays in the campus. So in nahi hota hai, she stays on campus. Okay. Then question 5, let's go for a walk, do we? So you can either put shall we, or you can also say shall we go for a walk. Even that is correct. Shall we go for a walk? You're asking a question. Do we is absolutely wrong. Then the sixth one, have you read each of the following instruction? And this we have discussed in the past also, that each of the following instructions, you have to make it plural. The way we looked at, he is one of the finest actors, like we put an S, right? So similarly, have you read each of the following instructions? Then the seventh one, do you know where are you going? Do you know where you are going? So this was a rearrangement. Where are you going? You might be using this while speaking, but the correct statement is where you are going. Then the eighth one, every girl must submit their identity card. Again, this is a very easy one. You have to notice that every is written. So every has to be followed with a singular, a her, not, rather than there. So every girl must submit her identity card, not there. So the moment you see every, the moment you see like in the sixth question, each of the following. So each of the following had to be replaced, had to be followed by each of the following instructions, like amongst the many. So every girl must submit her identity card. Then ninth one, the student's bag were lost. Again, good example. Over here, they've put an apostrophe S for student. That means students' bags. So, there are two things that can be done over here. One is you make it singular student and you say that student's bag. Student ka bag. Like student with an apostrophe S is student ka bag. So the student's bag, if you're saying of one student, then you put the word was. So the student's bag was lost rather than were. If you're referring to multiple students, then you put students and then you put the apostrophe later and then you say the students' bags were lost. Okay. So, yeah. Then, so I hope that's clear. Like when you're speaking of one student, then you put the word was. When you're speaking about multiple students, you put the word were. Then 10th one, I will reach to your office at 5 p.m. So 2 is an extra statement and this we have noticed in the past also several times they tend to put 2. They just put 2 as a misnomer and you have to drop it. So I will reach your office at 5 p.m. So 2021, the first question, every boy must look into their own book. So again, see, this is a very crucial trap that they're putting. Whenever they use the word every, you have to know that you have to speak of one person. So every boy must look into his own book. So every is followed with not is followed by his or her rather than theirs. Okay, this we just saw up in question number 8. Every girl must submit their identity card. Okay. Then second one, the magistrate issued order for his arrest. So issued order nahi, issued an order for his arrest. So you just have to put the correct and the missing correct article. So then neither Ramesh nor Suresh are going to the market. Again, same trap, neither Ramesh nor Suresh is going to the market because you are speaking of one of Ramesh or Suresh. All right. Then fourth one, when I entered the compartment, I saw there was no place for me. When I entered the compartment, I saw that there was no place for me. So you had to put the word that. You like playing, isn't it? So again, it might sound that it is correct, but it's the correct statement is you like playing, don't you? So you're referring to you. So you have to replace it with, or you have to put it. Suffix it with don't you. So other example of tag questions are you're going home, aren't you? She likes reading, doesn't she? They're coming tomorrow, won't they? So if you notice, you ka you hi hai aage and you just put aren't. Then she likes reading, doesn't she? They coming tomorrow, won't they? Since you put the word they, therefore won't they? That's how tag questions work. Then the sixth one, have you seen him yesterday? Have you seen him yesterday? Again, like while speaking, you must be using this, but the correct statement is just simply, did you see him yesterday? So have you seen ko you have to replace with did. And then the seventh one, summarize the two first chapters of this book. Work of reordering, summarize the first two chapters of this book. Okay. So just reordering. So just try different things out. If nothing works, then try reordering, try putting a simple did, look at the tag questions. Then R is a favorite trap. Then issued an order, so you just had to put an. Like similarly, a student's bag was a simple example. So just try different things out. Okay. Then let's look at the question number 8. No matter what I will do, I can't make her happy. So I will was a like the will was a problematic thing over here. No matter what I do, I can't make her happy. Okay. No matter what I do, I can't make her happy. This is a simpler way of putting things together. So ninth one, he went to work despite of his illness. So off over here was problematic. He went to work despite his illness. So they have a habit of putting to and offs just like that to make the statement erroneous. So you have to be careful when you see a to or when you see an off, and you try replacing it and see if the statement becomes correct. The 10th one, he is sleeping for 2 hours. So is the present tense. But if you're doing something for 2 hours, that means you have started that activity in the past and you're continuing it till now. So the correct tense over there will be he has been sleeping for 2 hours. Not he is sleeping. He has been sleeping for 2 hours, an activity that started in the past and is continuing till now. So he has been sleeping. So is has to be replaced with has been. Okay. Let's look at 2020. Okay, so the first one, what is the time in your watch? So the correct preposition there is what is the time on your watch. Then the second one, I am understanding the lesson. So I am understanding the lesson ki jagah you have to put I understand the lesson. So I am understanding is like kuch chal raha hai, like it's continually happening. But when you say I understand, that means you're saying that I've understood or I understand the lesson. Matlab even when I say I understand, abhi bhi I am understanding. So I am understanding ki jagah you have to put I understand. I understand the lesson. So third one, the man standing in a corner was trembling from cold. So from nahi hai, it's with. The man standing in the corner was trembling with cold. The fourth one, it is a much interesting film. It's a very interesting film. So again, this is a we've seen this trap 3 times now. It's a much interesting film. को much को आपको very से replace करना था. Similarly, in the beginning, if you noticed, the novel is too interesting. To को आपको extremely से replace करना था. Many works to do. Question number 4, you had to replace many works with I have a lot of work to do. So yeah, so some things are like very simple. You just have to be mindful and replace it. So then it is a much interesting film has been replaced with it is a very interesting film. Then question 5, although it was past midnight, yet the shops were still open. So over here, this yet is an extra word. You just have to put comma and you can say, although it was past midnight, comma, the shops were still open. And please note, again, the business with but, yet, commas is like a thing that we saw. In some places, we replace the but with yet, and some places we replace the but with a comma. And in this case, question number 5, we're replacing the yet with a comma. So all things we've tried. Then the sixth one, okay. So the sixth one, the coolie refused to carry her heavy luggages to the station. So it's not luggages, it's just luggage. The same way we saw for equipments. It was not equipments with an S, it was just the word equipment. Okay. Then the seventh one, more simple the business, the better off you are. So again over here, more is like, incorrect. You have to say the simpler the business, the better off you are. So more ko always they're putting in incorrect sense. Question 8, the librarian asked which book did I want. So did I want nahi wanted. Librarian asked which book I wanted. So again, if you just keep these in mind, you will be able to replace the correct one. Question 9, I saw your friend before 2 weeks. So I saw your friend 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks before bhi nahi, 2 weeks ago. So here also it was a reordering and you had to replace before with ago. I saw your friend 2 weeks ago. Question 10, he hanged the picture on the wall. He hung the picture on the wall. Hanged nahi, hung. Okay. Then 2019. When I reached the station, the train left it. So when I reached the station, comma, the train had already left. Okay. So the train left it is incorrect. So maybe it's wrong. So the train had already left. Then the second one, Kolkata is at the bank of the river Hooghly. So at the bank nahi, Kolkata is located on the banks of the river Hooghly. Okay. Like we saw, she lives on campus. Then we saw the one on watch, like quite in the beginning, I think. Yeah, somewhere here. Yeah, she stays on the campus. Similarly, over here again, it's Kolkata is located on the banks of the river Hooghly. Then she is one of the best authors in the genre. So change author to authors. So she's one, and maybe in the question it was only author, and in the answer you had to put authors. So The question must have had only author, and the answer is one of the best authors. This we've seen repeatedly, one of the finest actors. Okay. Question 4. Will you return back the book I lent to you? Will you return the book I lent to you? Return back. Back is an extra word over there. Will you return the book I lent to you? At one time were houses where the large factory now stands. ये तो पूरा ही गलत है. तो this you have to replace by saying there were once houses where the large factory now stands. There were once houses. Were क्यों डाला है? Because there are many houses. So there were once houses where the large factory now stands. Okay. At one time को आपको there were once से replace करना था. Then the sixth one, you should read from page number 13 and 17. You should read pages 13 to 17. ये इससे पहले भी हुआ था, like something like between and from, like from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. That was about the timing. So you should read pages 13 to 17. Then the eighth one, although it was raining, but we walked in the street. So over here again, the but is replaced with a comma. Although it was raining, comma, we walked in the street. So be careful when a but comes, when a yet comes, and think of all that you can do. Okay. Then you can also put like it was raining, comma, but we walked in the street. Although जो है ना, although becomes redundant, although को you can not redundant, but although can be replaced with it was raining. It was raining, but we walked in the street. Although and but together are not okay. Although and but दोनों साथ में नहीं रहेंगे. Although it was raining, comma we walked in the street. या together, all together आप although को drop कर दो और देखो it was raining, comma but we walked in the street. ठीक है. Then eighth one, Ravi's mango is more sweeter than Rani's. Ravi's mango is sweeter than Rani's. Again, they like putting extra mores, most. So more sweeter नहीं, sweeter ही खुद अपने आप में it's a sweet, sweeter, sweetest. So sweeter is the correct word. Then you can't buy all what you like. You can't buy everything you like. All what को आपको replace करना है everything से. ठीक है. देन आफ्टर दिस ही मेड नो फादर रिमार्क्स. तो ये फादर की स्पेलिंग ही रॉन्ग है. फादर मतलब दूर, फर्दर दिस इज द करेक्ट वन. आफ्टर दिस एंड यू ऑल्सो हैव टू नोट दैट you have to add a comma after this comma. He made no further remarks. So this is all about it. I think it will be helpful, and wishing you all the best. Thank you.